So if that seems like that might be a little overwhelming, there's a tool that Google provides that lets you, it's a UTM Builder. And by the way, I will go to that page here so that we can see this. So this is, you can just Google UTM Campaign URL Builder and you'll pretty much find this. And again, this is a tool that's offered by Google, and what it lets you do is on a one-by-one basis, it's an easy way to generate an individual UTM link. The matrix that you just saw, that Tyler just demonstrated, is a spreadsheet that, and you can find examples of those. There's lots of them around. You can, again, Google for UTM Builder spreadsheet or UTM Builder Google Sheet. There's different people who have engineered these that let you enter those things, and you really kind of set it up for mass production. But if you just want to analyze one, this is a useful way to kind of get acquainted with the format. By the way, just a sidebar, before we talk too much further about this, you might be wondering, UTM, why UTM? What does that actually mean? And that's actually just historical. It comes from Urchin tracking module. Urchin was originally the tracking company that Google acquired and folded into Google Analytics as it was building it. And they had this tracking scheme set up with these Urchin tracking modules, which they then called UTM codes. And so essentially that just got folded in, and we still use that terminology to this day, talk about UTM parameters. So you can see that, and you can see that real quickly. If I go down to a typical URL that gets built, you can see right there, UTM source, UTM underscore medium, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go back up to the top and break this down and show, like, where does this end up? So first of all is the website URL. This is essentially the landing page. So when you're tagging a URL, the things to keep in mind is that this is coming back to your site. It's coming back to a place where you have Google Analytics installed. This is where you're landing them. So let's just say we were going to, for the sake of argument, land them on the home page of the 08 site. The campaign source is, again, like, where did this come from? So we can say that this campaign was on LinkedIn, and the source would be LinkedIn. And depending on where the traffic is coming from, the source, again, is kind of like, where are they coming from? This is where are they headed? Where are they coming from? How did they get there? This medium is super important. And you can see examples. These are three of the most common examples. CPC is used if you are paying. Generally, it means cost per click. So if you're using something like Google Ads, or you're doing paid social on Facebook or LinkedIn, when you get to campaign name, campaign term, and campaign content, you've got quite a bit of leeway. This is very open-ended. So I really may want to use this. If I'm not doing a search campaign, I might actually want to repurpose this campaign term and do something like wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, et cetera, just to have some way of differentiating those. And so ultimately, where do they end up? Well, they generate something that looks like this. And when you first look at these links, these URLs, it can seem very confusing, but it's essentially just taking all of the stuff that we already decided to put in and plan for, and then it's just putting them in with the parameter names. And when you're all done, it has built this